When most people picture life in Mexico, they imagine beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and affordable living. But there is another reality that expats and immigrants need to be aware of: cartel activity. It's not about scaring you, this is about preparing you. In this episode, I'll break down recent cartel related developments in Mexico and explain what they really mean for foreigners living here or considering the move. If you want the truth without the hype, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Spend Channel, where we help empty nest single parents start the next chapter abroad in a different country. My name is Jason, and today we're going to dive into an important but often misunderstood topic: cartel activity in Mexico, what's happening right now, and how it could affect your experience as an expat or an immigrant. This isn't a scare piece. This is simply about being smart, informed, and prepared. So whether you're planning your move or already are living in Mexico, stick around for tips that could literally keep you safer. Drug cartels have deep roots in Mexico's history. They began as drug trafficking networks, driven by demand from the United States and economic gaps within rural Mexican communities. Over time, they expanded to extortion, fuel theft, illegal mining, and other activities. In fact, some of these cartels are already on U.S. soil and are running other businesses like telephone scams. For example, the Sinaloa drug cartel is actually scamming senior citizens over the phone in the U.S. These organizations aren't just criminals. They are power brokers in certain regions, which is why the violence often stems from internal turf wars or clashes with the military. And these cartels are often former military, and therefore are well-trained and equipped. But this is the key point. Most of this violence is not targeted. It's not random. It's usually gang against gang, or cartels versus law enforcement, or cartels versus the Mexican military. Mexican journalists are also in danger. These attacks aren't random. They're not usually directed towards expats or tourists from foreign countries. These drug cartels aren't stupid. They have no interest in fomenting an international incident. That would be contrary to their business interests. And these cartels are businesses, although they are illegal. So what's been happening lately? In the past year, we've seen continued violence in the states of Michoacán, Guerrero, and parts of Jalisco, particularly related to the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or CJNG, which stands for Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación. In one incident late last year, there were clashes between CJNG and security forces in the rural part of the state of Jalisco. This led to highway blockages and burned vehicles. Shocking footage for anyone unfamiliar with that region. In more touristy places like Puerto Vallarta or Cancun, there have been isolated shootings, often tied to nightlife disputes. They make international headlines, but context matters. These fights typically happen between locals and criminal elements, not expats or tourists simply minding their own business. The Mexican government has responded with increased military troop presence in high-conflict areas and a crackdown on cartel propaganda online. But most of these changes are invisible to expats living peaceful lives in cities like Mérida, Guadalajara, or Mexico City. I can personally vouch for this, having spent time in the heart of Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan. In fact, I'm currently in Guadalajara, and I've been here for over a month now. So this is what you can do to stay safe and enjoy your life in Mexico. One is know your region, know where you're going ahead of time, do your homework. Tourist cities and state capitals are usually safer. Rural conflict zones are best avoided unless you have family or local insight. If you really do want to move to a local Mexican village, you're going to have to do additional research. Ask around. There are groups on Facebook specifically for that purpose. You definitely want to do extra homework compared to living in a place like Guadalajara or Mazatlan, which is typically a lot safer due to the increased presence of military and police forces. Second thing is, don't get involved in local drama. Don't attend protests, especially as a foreigner. You're not allowed to get involved in a protest march involving Mexican nationals protesting against their government. That's not your business. Don't get into arguments with people at bars. Simply walk away. And don't try to save anyone from a situation that you may not fully understand in the first place. Another one is keep a low profile. Don't have expensive jewelry on. Don't obviously count your money out in public. Be discreet about that. Just keep as little cash on you as you need is a good example. Another one is use trusted transportation. Uber is plentiful. It's widespread in Mexico and very, very affordable. Another service is Didi. Or if you need to call a cab, make sure it's an official, legit taxi. Or if you're staying at a hotel or a restaurant, ask them to get a cab for you. You definitely want to take a cab at night, especially in a city or a town that you're not familiar with. Safe is better than sorry. Bottom line is stay informed, but don't panic. Don't be alarmist. Check out expat groups on Telegram, in Facebook, as I mentioned. WhatsApp has communities. Ask friends. Ask the people where you're staying for advice. Check out Telegram expat groups on Facebook. Watch the local news and subscribe to alerts from the U.S. Embassy and the U.S. State Department. Avoid YouTube doomsday channels. Let me be blunt about this. This is not the place to experiment with illegal substances, dark tourism, or getting involved in local disputes. If somebody you meet or run into offers you something shady, just walk away. Always remember that you are a guest in a foreign country that has complicated challenges. Respect that and you'll be fine. Keep to yourself, mind your own business, do the things that tourists do, and you'll be all right. Personally, I love Mexico and I plan to stay here long term. And yes, I'm well aware of the risks. But here is the truth. Most expats and immigrants in Mexico live peaceful and enriching lives. They learn the language, respect the culture, and stay smart. You can too. Don't let headlines in the United States steal your dream or your enthusiasm. Just prepare wisely and move forward with your eyes open. If this video helped you feel more informed and empowered, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I post new videos regularly about moving abroad as a single parent and or an empty nester, including updates like this one. And if you haven't yet, be sure to grab my 2 free relocation guides. They're linked in the description below to help you take the next step with clarity and confidence. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and keep growing. Thanks for watching.